Give me just a second. My name is Athena, and I will be hosting our service this morning with the help of some fellow members. And a quick refresher of Psanctuary as we get started. Psanctuary, for those who may not have joined us before, Psanctuary is a 508c1a faith-based organization. We use psilocybin mushrooms as a sacrament to connect us to divinity. It is our sincere belief that the consumption of psilocybin-containing mushrooms is a communion which brings us closer to what is commonly called God. We understand this concept as pure consciousness, which permeates all being. This pure consciousness is, we believe, the ineffable source of creation and the origin of health and well-being. Our faith in sacred mushrooms stems from prehistorical use by our ancestors and personal experiences of our modern members. It is our belief that psilocybin-containing mushrooms are one of the greatest sacraments that nature offers, raising our awareness so that we can access a direct connection to the source of life. We should not be mistaken for a medical or therapeutic organization. We strongly encourage anyone facing trauma recovery or mental health issues to work in conjunction with a psychiatrist, psychologist, or accredited therapist. Our objective is to help and support you in reconnecting with the universal source of healing, your own divine spirit. As we get ready to begin today's service, we ask that you mute your mics if they are not muted already. We want to let you know this meeting is being recorded, which if you have any questions about, feel free to reach out privately. A portion of this service, we will invite you to journal. So now is a good time to grab a notebook and pen if you'd like to participate in that. And please do, if possible for you, find a comfortable space where you can relax and be present for the service. The service portion of our gathering is around 30 minutes of silent participation on your part, during which time we will begin with a short meditation. We'll read the poem which the church has adopted as our acknowledgement of oneness with all that is, titled A Litany of Gratitude. A reading from our rotating text, Currently Dry Those Tears, along with an opportunity to journal your thoughts around the reading. A reading from our main text, the Tao Te Ching. After that, we will bring the official service to a close. And from there, we'll move into an optional discussion period led by Eric today, which we have allotted an hour and a half for until noon, and do invite you to participate if you feel called. And I do hear someone in the background. If you could mute your mic. And I'll welcome everyone again. Thank you for joining our Psanctuary community in celebration. As we begin our statement of faith, we recognize that this statement does not exhaust the full extent of our faith. We believe that sacred mushrooms are a primary source of personal and divine revelation. We seek counsel from the mushroom to find direction and inspiration in our faith practice. And we believe that all individuals who seek true revelation from divinity can do so. Now invite Courtney to lead us in our meditation this morning.
Thank you, Athena. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I invite you to join me now in a 5-minute meditation. So if you could get as comfortable as you can where you are, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Continue to breathe. This short meditation this morning is all about noticing. noticing what's here in our being, here in the room with us. Just carving out a few minutes of time to touch base with ourselves and what's happening right here in the now. You may at first notice your heartbeat or physical sensations within your body. Maybe you're noticing sounds outside, or the hum of your heater. Just notice without feeling the need to change anything you're noticing. You might notice thoughts floating by. Just let those thoughts pass by. Continue to breathe. Coming back to your breath, whenever you might notice your attention drifting away from the now. We have our breath as an anchor, always bringing us back into the moment. Take a few more deep breaths. Know you can take this noticing into service today in discussion. This meditation is a powerful tool we can carry with us throughout our days. The last couple of breaths, just start coming back into the surface space. You can wiggle your toes, your fingers. Notice your posture. And just come back into the space with us. Maybe offer yourself some gratitude for showing up this morning, even with this time change. We very much appreciate you being here. Thank you all. Pass it back to Athena now.
Thanks, Courtney. Now I invite you to unmute your mics if you'd like. And join me during our litany of gratitude when I say, we live in all things live in us. We live by the sun, we feel by the moon, we move by the stars. We live in
all things.
All
things live in
us.
us.
We eat from the earth, we drink from the rain, we breathe of the air. We live in
all things.
All things
live in us.
We call to each other, we listen to each other, our hearts deepen with love and compassion. We live in
all
things.
things.
All things live in us.
We depend on the trees and animals. We depend on the earth. Our minds open with wisdom and insight. We live in
all things.
All things live in us.
We dedicate our practice to others. We include all forms of life. We celebrate the joy of living and dying. We live in
all things.
All things live in us.
We are full of life. We are full of death. We are grateful for all beings and companions. Thank you, everyone. If you'd resume your mute. I invite Emma to help us with our first reading.
Good morning. Dry Those Tears, Chapter 7. Where are the dead? Before we can answer the question, we must understand our relationship to life. We must realize that we are spiritual beings with fourth dimensional powers functioning on three-dimensional Earth, but also transcending it. The next world is not situated on some distant planet, but is all around us in the very air we breathe. Your loved one, whom you call dead, is carrying on their life right now where you are now, but is existing in a new body. You do not see them because the functioning of this body is of a vibration too high for our mortal eyes to register. We do not collide with them for the same reason that one radio program does not interfere with another. You are simply on different wavelengths. Your body is dense. Theirs is etheric. Death is just the change from one frequency or rate of vibration to another. The change in vibration was brought out beautifully by Stuart White's analysis of the movement of an electric fan, which was, take the electric fan operating at 2 speeds. The low speed we will label 50 and the high speed 100. We set the fan at 50, but its full capacity is 100. In other words, without disturbing the potential of 100, we have arrested the fan's motion at 50. If we push the controls so that the fan is going twice as fast as before, we notice a curious effect. At 50, we could see the blades individually as they spun. But at 100, we don't see them at all. We look right through them and see the wall behind. The truth of the matter is that we only see that which is on our level or frequency.
Thank you, Emma. Now is a great time to pull out your journal if you have it nearby. We'll take a moment to reflect on the reading just now. As you listened to this metaphorical description of the spiritual body, how did it resonate with you? What is your understanding of yourself and or the deceased and our existence in both the material and spiritual world? We'll take 5 minutes to reflect on this reading. If you'd like to begin finishing up your thoughts. We'll come back to the space. The paradoxical nature of life and its mysteries are best experienced through the ineffable space we find in our communion with the mushroom. For more than 2,000 years, the Tao Te Ching has provided guidance and instruction for exploring the paradox of existence. It is for this reason we employ the Tao Te Ching as our primary sacred text and invite all to study it further as you delve deeper into the mystery of life. Invite Brian to help us with our next reading.
Good morning. The Tao Te Ching, chapter 46. When the world is in possession of the Tao, the galloping horses are led to fertilize the fields with their droppings. When the world has become Taoless, war horses breed themselves on the suburbs. There is no calamity like not knowing what is enough. There is no evil like covetousness. Only he who knows what is enough will always have enough.
Thank you. I'll now go into our closing announcements. Thank you, everyone who came out yesterday and saw the new space and just put a lot of great energy into it. Our next in-person event is Tuesday, March 15th. We will be hosting a sacred circle. Eric will be leading a conversation at 5:30. We do ask that you register for this beforehand, and we'll drop that link in the chat for those. It is open to everyone, so members and non-members alike. We still have a couple spaces available on our March 21st through 26th retreat. It is not too late to sign up if you would like to do that. You can reach out with more details at info@psanctuary.org. We do have those OHA, Oregon Health Association meetings scheduled. We'll also drop a link in the chat for that if you would like to attend those meetings and represent Psanctuary as a religious organization. There's a lot of conversations happening on what that will look like. As a reminder, Courtney and Eric have our More Than Integration coaching. So if that is something you feel called to look into, I invite you to do that. You do not have to participate in a sacrament service with us to look into the available coaching we have around these experiences. Courtney will be hosting our first women's circle on April 2nd. More details on that to come. And we also will be having some offerings with Autumn. She'll be starting to offer some cacao ceremonies in the future, and with Amy, some sound healing. So keep an eye out in your emails and on our Discord channel for more events in our space and within our community. Donations. Again, our event yesterday, we raised around $500 for Psanctuary. So thank you, everyone who participated and came out and just sent us love and energy during that time. If you have enjoyed the service and/or the community conversations afterwards, we would love if you would consider making a donation to help support the efforts of the church. All donations received gratefully go toward current programs, development, and implementation of new programs and operating expenses. And by donating, you help bring to reality the visions for Psanctuary Church. And we'll drop that link in the chat as well. For our members, our community consists of families and individuals from all walks of life and is open to individuals from any faith or background. Our growing list of integration coaches and therapists. If you, like many others throughout history, hold these mushrooms as a sacrament for sincere and intentional spiritual practice and would like to be a part of this community, we invite you to head over to the membership application page and begin the membership process. You should see a link in the chat thread as well. Becoming a member is a 5-step process, which includes a discovery call with us. Members of Psanctuary Church have access to our growing list of integration coaches and therapists, member-only events, including sacrament opportunities, our membership portal, and our members-only Discord chat, which is a daily connection with the community. Also, reading support. If you'd like to support these services by volunteering to read or to lead the meditation, please send us an email at info@sanctuary.org, or you can send a message to me in the Discord server. And I'll begin closing out our service today, recognizing we've come together with intentions of service to the land and all its inhabitants. It is in our hearts to go forth into the world with the collective consciousness. We encourage you to stay for continued fellowship and conversation around our readings today. And for those unable to stay, we thank you for being with us. As we further our conversation, please remember all perspectives and are welcome as we search for the spiritual truth that unites us all. Again, thank you everyone, and I will stop our recording.